All right, here we go. Whoop. All right, let me know if you can hear me out there. Just give me a thumbs up or any kind of sign, and I will know that I'm on here. Just let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna hope this is working right tonight. Okay, good. Okay, cool. Well, I can see your comments, and yeah, I think we're all set. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in. I am here in my sitting here in my living room tonight, and glad to be with y'all. So thanks for joining me here. Let's get to it. Yeah, throw your request up there. I can see you, and here we go. Heading west on 20, just past Birmingham. Not sure where I'm going, I just can't turn back again. And I got headlights on the highway, I got a heart that's way back home, and a picture of a life I lost to remind me why I'm gone. And that's why I left Atlanta, I drove away in a early morning haze. Yes, that's why I left Atlanta. Me and Georgia seen our better days. We settled outside the city, bought a house and a little land, built our hopes on dreaming till those dreams got out of hand. Well, I was after something I could never be. I guess she finally grew too tired of waiting around on me, and that's why I left Atlanta. I drove away in an early morning haze. Yes, that's why I left Atlanta. Me and Georgia seen our better days. I wish she could have held on a little longer. I wish I could have been a little stronger. Well, God knows things don't always work out like we planned. Well, I could tell you my story, I just don't know how it will end. So I keep right on driving until I run out of gas. Start again where I end up, ain't no use in looking back. And that's why I left Atlanta. I drove away in an early morning haze. Yes, that's why I left Atlanta. Me and Georgia seen our better days. Me and Georgia seen our better days. All right, I think it's working. I've been trying some stuff, just trying to make it look and sound better, and it seems like every time I've tried it lately, it just kind of backfires. But we're slowly zeroing in on it here. So I think I've got it. I think we got it this time. Let's if I don't jinx myself by saying that. But all right, I see these requests coming in. Yeah, Texas, we're back online. Last week was tough. Last week was an interesting week here in Texas, but we got through it, and it went from 0 degrees, and then a week later it was 85 degrees yesterday. So that's Texas for you. All right, I'll do this. I saw this request. Well, I was 18 working on a road crew in Georgia. He was a Vietnam vet from Tennessee. He held the post while I drove the hammer. Rain or shine, side by side, 5 days a week. And he taught me the blues, and I'd sing for him old Hank Williams tunes. And he'd say, boy, the only difference between us is your white and my black Jesus. Well, the pay, it was barely legal, and I wasted mine on cigarettes and booze. Well, his went to his woman and his children, and the rest he'd bet on anything that moves. And he taught me the blues, and I'd sing for him old Hank Williams tunes. And he'd say, boy, the only difference between us is your white and my black Jesus. Well, I woke last night to the sound of thunder, and my mind drifted back to that old man. Oh, and I ain't seen him since I left Georgia. Yeah, but something tells me we'll meet again. And he taught me the blues, and I'd sing for him old Willie Nelson tunes. And he'd say, boy, the only difference between us is your white and my black Jesus. And when we meet again, there'll be nothing between us. It'll just be him and me and Jesus. All right. Yeah, I saw some comments about Channing on there. Yeah, that is a Channing Wilson song. I was very lucky to get to record it. I heard Channing do that one night, and just really fell in love with the song. And I think Channing wrote it with a guy named Patrick Davis. And first time I heard it, I knew I wanted to be a part of it, and I was really thankful that he let me do that. So, all right. Well, here's what I saw come by. This is one I wrote with Josh Grider, and if you're in the Fort Worth area, Josh will be our guest on our Supper Club show that Courtney and I do every month at the Post in Fort Worth. March 7th, Sunday, March 7th. Josh is going to be our guest on that show. So. Well, if I had 3 wishes, my first would be for a second chance. do all those little things I didn't do. Take the poison off my tongue, stand strong when I cut and run, and be a better man than the one you knew. There ain't no genie in this bottle, and I've been looking with every pore. As I get closer to the bottom, I find it just as empty as the one before. Well, if I found that genie and he made my first wish come true, and I don't guess I'd need him anymore. All would be forgiven, and he could take that bottle with him, and I'd shake his hand and walk into the door. There ain't no genie in this bottle, and I've been looking with every pore. As I get closer to the bottom, I find it just as empty as the one before. As I get closer to the bottom, I find I'm just as empty as I was before. All right. Thanks for asking for that. It's either sing with my glasses on or be able to read the comments. Yeah, okay. Keep them coming here. Saw this one earlier. Here's another one. Here's one I wrote with another one of our sequestered songwriter friends, and this is a song I wrote with Kelly McWee. We've been friends for a long time, and we wrote this song probably back in 2013, I bet. If I had to choose between liars and fools, I'd choose the fools every time. 'Cause liars, they live in their own little world, while the fools lay it all on the line. And if I get burned, I wanna get burned by the fire, not hiding from the ashes in the trees. I'd rather stand tall as a fool while the liar goes down, still on his knees. So if I had to choose between liars and fools, I choose the fools every time. 'Cause liars, they live in their own little world, while the fools lay it all on the line. I've seen it all from one of those sides, and I watched as it all came undone. She was the fool for believing my lies, and now I'm left with the damage I've done. So if I had to choose between liars and fools. I choose fools every time. 'Cause liars, they live in their own little world, while the fools lay it all on the line. Liars, they live in their own little world, while the fools lay it all on the line. Man, I don't get to do that one enough. All right, let's see here. Man, this is fun. I like doing this. I'm glad y'all are tuning in here. I'll see. I saw one. I feel like. Oh, I tell you what. I'm gonna save that one for a little later in the show. Yeah, I'll see this request here. I'll do this. Well, I just turned 35, but it feels a whole lot like 23. Still waiting on growing up. Maybe then I'll figure out just what I'll be. I've tried the 9 to 5 before, but me and that suit and tie did not agree. Now it's back to jeans, worn out shirts, and nothing but this old guitar and me. My car is barely running, but I've run enough for both of us, I guess. My pockets are all empty, knowing what I do, well, that's for the best. Well, I gave up on settling down. Don't think God made the ground to fit my feet. So I'm writing these words and singing these songs with nothing but this old guitar and me. Well, I've exceeded expectations, spoken wild exaggerations now and then. And I've sank down to the bottom, ain't it funny, where you find your best friend. Now I'm somewhere in the middle where it only takes a little to be free. And I'm digging in, keeping time with nothing but this old guitar and me. Well, my car is barely running, but I've run enough for both of us, I guess. And my pockets are all empty, knowing what I do, well, that's for the best. Well, I gave up on settling down. Don't think God made the ground to fit my feet. So I'm writing these words and singing these songs with nothing but this old guitar and me. Yeah, I'm writing these words and singing these songs with nothing but this old guitar and me. All right. Hey, if anybody has any, I know I see your requests there, but if anybody has any questions or anything like that, it's kind of one of the cool things about doing these live streams is I can talk to you in the middle of the show, which I can't really do in a regular show. So that's pretty cool. I saw this one. I'll do this. God, don't make me go back to Jackson. Sky turns black every time I do. Heaven don't like the way I'm living. God don't make me go back to Jackson. The sky turns black every time I do. Straight out on the side of the highway, he got nothing left to lose. Soon he's going home to Jesus. God don't make me go back to Jackson. The sky turns black every time I do. Well, I was baptized in a muddy water. My soul broke in like a weathered shoe. Can't you hear that choir singing? God don't make me go back to Jackson. The sky turns black every time I do. I hopped a train just south of Memphis, and I found myself in Baton Rouge. Well, I got out with my soul still burning. God don't make me go back to Jackson. Sky turns black every time I do. God don't make me go back to Jackson. Sky turns black every time I do. Heaven don't like the way I'm living. God don't make me go back to Jackson. The sky turns black every time I do. Said God don't make me go back to Jackson. The sky turns black every time I do. All right. Cool. All right. I saw some questions come across. I saw one about cameras. I'm pretty into photography. It's a hobby. I needed a hobby. Music was my hobby for a long time, and then and of course I still love music, doing music more than anything in the world. But I needed a hobby outside of that, and so I traveled so much that I thought I'll pick up the camera, and got pretty obsessed with it. So I spend most of my time on the road taking pictures and trying to learn it. It's a lot. Photography is a lot to learn. It's kind of like starting music all over again. It's learning something from scratch again is really really cool. But my favorite camera gear, I'm a Nikon guy, so I shoot Nikon, and I've got some mirrorless stuff, but I love the D500 is kind of my favorite. I just haven't found anything that really beats it yet for me. So that's where I'm at on that. My favorite Mile Zero memory. God, man, there's just so many of them. I mean, what a great time that is. I would think that that first year was pretty. I mean, they've all been great, but that first year, we didn't know what to expect, and it was just kind of. I remember that first night there when the Moon Pies played, and it kind of turned into a big jam, and Jamie Lynn, I think, played right before them, and Courtney was singing with Jamie, and it was just turned it, and it was kind of that night that you went, okay, this is what this is, this is what this is going to be, and I'll never forget that moment of of realizing that it was something special, you know. There was that, and then I mean, I've just had some great sets down there playing with Jamie and Adam Hood and Courtney, and so yeah, just the whole vibe down there is just pretty great. Let's see, what did I just see? Am I gonna do anything else with Ikes and Hensley? Yeah, if y'all don't know Rob Ikes and Trey Hensley, you probably know Trey from the Sequestered Songwriters as well. But I was a fan of their music, of their records. They make records under the Rob Ikes and Trey Hensley is the band name, and we as a whole band were fans of those guys. Just driving down the road, we would kind of wear their records out, and so I got ready to record, and I had met them a couple of times, and so just called them up and asked if they wanted to do it, and they said yes. And so they're all my last record I travel on is those two guys and my touring band at the time, and then we toured after that. We toured for about 4 months together, and I mean, we don't have anything in the works, but you know, I can't imagine that that's not going to happen again at some point. I would hope so. We've been writing. The three of us have been writing a good bit here over the last year. We've sat down a couple times and gotten some stuff. So hopefully there'll be a lot more that's going to come from that. Okay. Well, let's see here. Here, I saw this one. Speaking of I Travel On, this is the title track to that record that I wrote with my really good friend Max Stalling. They had come down to our house. Heather, his wife Heather, was playing on Courtney's record at the time, and they wouldn't let us in the studio. So we sat home and wrote this song instead. Well, I woke up in Monterey with that old need to be on my way. Someday I'll ignore it, but it won't be today. I travel on. It's winter here New Mexico. I sit on this mountain and I look down below. Can't see the trail, it's covered in snow. I travel on. Well, I'm out here searching something I can hold. I don't know what is real, just some stories I've been told. Maybe someday I'll find out. Somewhere along this road I travel on. I travel on. Well, it's raining in Richmond, has been for days. When the sun shines tomorrow, I wish I could stay. Maybe that's the reason I gotta go today. I travel on. Well, I'm out here searching cities made of gold. I don't know what is real, just some stories I've been told. Maybe someday I'll find out. Somewhere along this road I travel on. I travel on. Well, I hope that when I finally find you, I'll have a chance to remind you of who I was before I had the mind to travel on. Well, knew it was too good to be true. Something had to happen. Okay, I think we got through that. I think we got through the little hiccup there. Yep. Sorry about that. I know it froze up there for a second. I'm using these. I'm using the good cameras, but they when they sync up to the computer, sometimes they just want to freeze up. So hopefully it came back for everybody. Yeah, good. Thanks. All right. Did I see that Jamie? Somebody said Jamie was watching. I haven't seen her come across, but Jamie, if you are watching, if you want to call in, that same link works. So let me know. All right. I saw this request. This is a song that I wrote for my daughter when she was graduating high school. Well, I remember when she couldn't wait to see me. She'd jump up in my arms and hold on tight and tell me all about the things she'd learned that day. Say, Dad, what are we doing tonight? Now it's riding around with friends and hanging out, college applications and life. And I smile and I'm proud, and I cry, not too loud. I always thought she'd be my little girl forever. I never really thought this time would come. And I love to see the woman that she's growing up to be. But there's still so many things we haven't done. And I'm holding on to every little minute. I'm holding on for dear life. And I smile and I'm proud, and I cry, but not too loud. I haven't always been the dad that I thought I'd be. God knows that I'd go back if I could. Well, maybe she will learn from the mistakes I've made. Wouldn't that be good? And I smile and I'm proud, and I cry, but not too loud. Oh man. Okay, let's see here. Well, that's cool. Man, it's really cool to hear the stories of dads with their daughters with that song. It took me a while to be able to play it. Actually, even now, sometimes it's kind of tough. It's hard, when your kids grow up and move away. Um, Somebody asked earlier if I had new music coming soon, and so yes, absolutely. I've recorded a lot this last year, and I finished a record back in November, and then went in to make another just little like record a few songs that I had laying around that didn't make that record, and ended up making a whole second album. So I've got two. I've got two albums that are done and ready. Um, One of them are a lot of songs that I've had over the years that just didn't make it onto albums for whatever reason. Not because I didn't like them or connect to them, but they just didn't fit the sequence of that album at the time that I was making at the time, and they just kind of get left off, and then you don't. Then you move on. And I had a ton of those laying around, and so I made a whole record of those kind of songs too. I'll do one of those for you. This is one that I hope I can remember this. Let's see. This is one that I wrote with Aaron Enderlin, and we wrote this a while ago. Let's see if I can remember this. Well, the whiskey turned to hours. She turned and handed me her key. She said, come up if you want to. I'm in 703. Now that elevator door is not the only one that's closing. For the first time in a long time, I get that feeling when it opens. And it's a long haul. With every step I'm taking, it feels more like a promise that I'm breaking. And I'm counting down the minutes like the numbers on the wall. I really thought I meant it when I said I was in it for the long haul. Past 7:38, feeling drunk and foolish. By room 725, I was thinking I can do this. And then I reached down for my ring, where it used to be. Baby, it's been hard since you left me. But it's a long haul. With every step I'm taking, it feels more like a promise that I'm breaking. And I'm counting down the minutes like the numbers on the wall. I really thought we meant it when we said we were in it for the long haul. Well, I slowed down on these final steps, run through a few more old regrets. I just need a minute before I move on, 'cause I really thought you meant it when you said you were in it for the long haul. Oh, the long haul. Yeah. Erin Enderlin, if you're not familiar with her, absolutely go check her out. She is amazing. Channing's here. I saw that. Kayla Ray's here. Man, got the musician party going on. I wish we could all do this in real time, but hopefully not too much longer. Let's see. What else y'all want to hear? I saw this request come across earlier. Let's see. I haven't done this in a while either. Fare thee well, Evangeline, Missy La Maison, my Cajun queen. Well, I'm going back down to New Orleans. Fare thee well, Evangeline. When the waters were high and the days were long, well, I said goodbye, but I can't stay gone. Thanks for your time, you've been my storm. But I say adieu, 'cause I don't belong. I'm going home. Fare thee well, Evangeline, Missy La Maison, my Cajun queen. Well, I'm going back down to New Orleans. Fare thee well, Evangeline. I've waited for that sun to shine. Now this troubadour is gonna be just fine. Sure to adore, you've been too kind. But I got my umbrella and I'm headed for the second line. Fare thee well, Evangeline, Missy La Maison, my Cajun queen. Well, I'm going back down to New Orleans. Fare thee well, Evangeline. Fare thee well, Evangeline, Missy La Maison, my Cajun queen. Well, I'm going back down to New Orleans. Fare thee well, Evangeline. I said, fare thee well, Evangeline. All right. I've seen this one come across a lot tonight. Somebody asked me the other day what my favorite song I've ever written is, and you know, that's a tough question to answer because you connect with different ones for different reasons, and you kind of know where you were at different points in your life when you wrote them. But you know, if I had to pick one, I think it would be a tie between this one and then another one that Jamie Lynn and I wrote together called Daylight and Dark. So I'll probably get to both of those here tonight. But this is, I would say this one too. Well, I saw Jesus in the corner. He was talking to my friend. They both looked my way and turned around. I guess I should remember all the trouble that I've been. It's just promises, pieces on the ground. Well, I was drunk, tired and busted, day he took me in and offered me protection from myself. I guess I should have told him I'm no kind of friend. Well, I guess he found out the day I left. And I took the money from the wallet on the table by the door. I took the pistol that he told me he kept locked inside the drawer. I took off before the sun came up. I didn't see him anymore. Well, I was killing time in Reno, where the snow fell on the ground, and I was counting out what little I had left. I asked the bartender, pour another round. I threw a 10 down on the table, saved one for myself. And I walked across the street in daylight with that pistol in my jeans. I walked up and told the teller I don't want to cause a scene. Just put the money in the suitcase. We can do this nice and clean. Well, I was almost to the front door when I heard that siren scream. They were just around the corner, coming fast. I turned back to that teller, and he was looking right at me. Well, I just watched him fall as I let that pistol blast. And I ran back through the alley, and I never turned around. I heard all their voices as they tried to track me down. Threw the pistol in that river. I jumped a train leaving town. In a hotel out by Carson Lake, I was trying to lay low when I heard some locals talking down the hall. It seems they'd caught the man who robbed that old Wells Fargo. Up in Reno, you don't mess around with the law. Well, I guess my friend came looking just like he'd done before. They'd already found his pistol that had washed up on the shore. Yesterday they hanged a man. I couldn't run anymore. I saw Jesus in the corner. He was talking to my friend. They both looked my way and turned around. I guess I should remember all the trouble that I've been. It's just promises and pieces on the ground. It's just promises, pieces on the ground. All right, I'm gonna I want to do a couple of new ones for you. I'm in new song mode, and let's see. I'm trying to think of which one I want to do. Let me do this one. So this is one I wrote. It's kind of we tour a lot up in the Midwest, and when you tour the Midwest, Colorado, anything kind of northish of Texas, when you come home, you come home across the Red River there on 35, and Gainesville, Texas is the first town that you get to, and that's when I always kind of know that I'm getting close to home. That's when you get back into Texas, and sometimes after a long run, you're really ready to get home for a little bit, and so anyway, that's kind of where this one came from. Well, I set out walking a long time ago, set out looking for the answers, set out looking for the show. You'd better believe I looked high and I looked low, but today I'm finally going home. And when I get back to Gainesville, I will sing a victory song. I have made a lot of turns, as many right as wrong. Well, I've had enough of this wandering life, so I'm going back to Gainesville. Ain't no change in my mind. Well, I can't count the miles I put underneath my feet, and every step I've taken has become a part of me. And I've crawled across the desert and I swam into the sea, but today I'm finally going home. And when I get back to Gainesville, I will sing a victory song. I have made a lot of turns, as many right as wrong. Well, I've had enough of this wandering life, so I'm going back to Gainesville. Ain't no change in my mind. Well, I have found freedom, and I have lost hope, and I have learned to question everything I think I know. And I've seen salvation, and I've sold my soul, but today I'm finally going home. And when I get back to Gainesville, I will sing a victory song. I have made a lot of turns, as many right as wrong. Well, I've had enough of this wandering life, so I'm going back to Gainesville. Ain't no change in my mind. Yeah, I've had enough of this wandering life, so I'm going back to Gainesville, and I mean it this time. Oh, cool. I didn't know that the podcast with Cody, I did a podcast with Cody Jinks earlier this week, and I didn't know it was out already. I didn't know he put them out that fast. So that's cool. It's cool to know that he did that. Cody and I, if you listen to the podcast, we talk about it a lot, but we started off together. Cody was a bartender at the bar where I was doing open mics, and we were both just trying to get anybody to pay attention to us. And so we started a little weekly residency at the Longhorn Saloon in Fort Worth, and we did it every Wednesday night for about a year. And I think we might have had 5 people one night. I think that was our biggest crowd of the whole year. So it's cool to think about now. So yeah, we talked about that. It's yeah. So Cody has that podcast, A Few In with Cody Jinks. So yeah, check that out. If y'all are, I'm gonna plug a couple shows here. If you're in the San Antonio area, I will be down in Bulverde, Texas tomorrow night at the Oak Fire Ridge. It's an early show. I think I'm playing 6:30 to 8 tomorrow night, and then I am in Galveston on Saturday night, but I think that one is sold out. And then Courtney and I will be together in Tomball, Texas on Sunday night. And I think the last time I heard there were just a couple of tables left. So if you want to go to that one, I would jump on that. Let's see. I want to do this one. I saw a couple of people ask for this. I did, and then I saw LaWanda kind of make a joke about it, and because I did try to close a show on this song one time, and I learned that is not a good idea. But this is a song. It's a new one, and it's a song I had the idea for a while, and it kind of came from a trip that Courtney and I took over to Italy. We go to Italy pretty regular now, except for this last year, and so. One time we built in a couple of days to go down and visit Anzio Beach, which is south of Rome, and I wanted to go there because my grandfather fought there, and so I had heard about it for a long time, and so I went and thought about it. Was way smaller than I thought. For one, that was a big thing that I realized because they were I don't know the exact number, but I think it was a couple of thousand American troops were trapped on this beach, and they were pinned down. The Italians were all on this cliff overhead, and they were just pinned on this beachhead for a long time, and a lot of them didn't make it through. And my grandfather was there, and he he talked about how intense that it was, and so we're standing on that beach, and I just thought, man, if he had poked his head, one way instead of another way, I wouldn't be standing there to see that. And so I wanted to write a song about that. And so I sat on it for a long time, and it was one of those, it was so personal that it was kind of hard to write. And so I called up my buddy and one of the most literary songwriters that I know, period, hands down, Drew Kennedy, and we wrote this over Zoom over the summer. So. We heard the quiet buzzing of a fly. For a second he wasn't quite sure what it was, till it tickled his face and he opened his eyes on a beach in the French summer sun. With sulfur in the air and the smell of something worse, he leaned up on his elbow and looked around, wiped some blood from his face, and saw his buddy James mangled and torn apart on the ground. Well, the medics got to him, and he thanked God they did. He spent 27 days in a field hospital before making the slow trip home to the States, minus one leg, which still seemed impossible. He got a job sorting mail at the Birmingham post office, 5 days a week, enough pay to get by. He met a beautiful girl through a mutual friend. 11 months later, that girl was his wife. But the nightmares were often and so vivid and real. He'd wake up screaming a few times a week. She was patient and kind and stayed by his side, and in time he found a more restful sleep. And by the next year they had him a son who got drafted when he turned 18. He went off to fight, but he came back whole, met my mom, and they had me. I come from a long line of soldiers whose blood's still flowing through me. They fought in fields and foreign lands so I could be who I wanted to be. Well, I broke the streak and I went to college instead of Kabul or Kuwait. I earned my degree and I got hired to teach Shakespeare and Wordsworth and Yeats. At a decent-sized high school outside of Atlanta, I did the best that I could. Yeah, that's heady stuff for kids that age, but all in all, I think I did some good. I come from a long line of soldiers whose blood's still flowing through me. They fought in fields and foreign lands so I could be who I wanted to be. Well, he heard the quiet buzzing of a fly. For a second he wasn't quite sure what it was, till it tickled his face and he opened his eyes, and then he died there in that French summer sun. And that girl he would have met sorting mail back in Birmingham, she met a lawyer and they fell in love. So their story ends before it began, on that beach in the French summer sun. And that child she had, well, that wasn't my dad, and I wasn't ever his son. So my story ends before it began, on that beach in the French summer sun. I come from a long line of soldiers whose blood flowed into the sea. War took more than just one life. It took him and his son and me. Courtney, you want to come sing with me? One song? Now that I've already said it out loud. Come sing one song with me. Okay, let's just do this one. I need you on it. Here's Courtney, everybody.
I'm shopping for candles. I just got off work. What am I looking at? Oh.
All right.
Hi, Kayla.
When I hear nope, day after day, I kept feeling the same way, running up and down these roads till they'd end. But I woke up in Charleston with my head in the sand. Seemed like a good of place as any to begin. Lost my mind in Carolina, lost myself along the way. Don't feel sorry for me, darling. That's the reason why I'm standing here today. Some would say that I've gone crazy, some would say that I'm just lazy. Me, I say I've finally given in. Giving in and giving up, surrendering is powerful stuff. Don't care where you go or where you've been. Lost my mind in Carolina, lost myself along the way. Don't feel sorry sorry for me, darling. That's the reason why I'm standing here today. Well, it took me some time to finally realize what I'd found out there on that sand. I tried to make it all make sense. I think too much, I always did, but there's just some things we'll never understand. Lost my mind in Carolina, lost myself along the way. Don't feel sorry for me, darling. That's the reason why I'm standing here today. Lost my mind in Carolina, lost myself along the way. Don't feel sorry for me, darling. That's the reason why I'm standing here today. That's the reason why I'm standing here today. All right. Courtney Patton, everybody. She's saving her voice. We both got a lot of shows this weekend. She just walked in the door from a show tonight.
It was really loud.
Yeah.
And I sang really hard, and I felt it going, and I was like, I gotta quit, because I started at 5 and I should have waited to start till like 6 or so, but I started early because I didn't want to talk.
I hear your voice going out.
Yeah. So the volume of the crowd just got louder and louder. I mean, it was like a ton of my friends, but it was just, they were all jabber jabbing, and I was background,
Yeah.
And so I turned the volume up on the PA, and then I looked at the watch, it was 7:15. I was like, I played for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was good. I did my job.
And so Saturday night, if you're in North Texas, you will be at the Gar Hole.
Gar Hole in Anna. And then Sunday, we're in Tomball at Main Street Crossing.
I think that one's really close to selling out.
Yeah, I was going to check today. There were just a few tables.
In fact, I think my San Antonio show might have sold out in like the last, while we've been doing this show.
Well, those are good problems to have.
That's good. And then March 7th, if you're in the DFW area, again, Courtney and I will be doing our supper club at the Post in Fort Worth with Josh Grider. So
those tickets just went on sale this week.
Yeah, just a few days ago. So yeah, cool. Well, I'm going to do one more and
sneak out.
All right, you going?
Yeah.
All
Bye,
right.
guys. See you later.
I'm gonna do one more here. Thank you guys for doing this. I want to make this a regular thing. I didn't get to do it last week because of the power issues, and we just didn't have enough. We didn't have reliable power to do this. But I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do some more of these. I really have missed doing it. We're in San Antonio. It's in Bulverde, just north of San Antonio at the Oak Fire Ridge, and it's an early. I think it's a 6:30 show. So, let's see. Let me see if there's any requests that I missed here. Somebody throw something out there. Give me a good closer. Oh, Cry Pretty. I see that. Okay, I'll do that. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it more than you know, and I look forward to seeing y'all on here again or out there on the road. Watch the website and social media and stuff. We'll kind of tell you where we're going to be, but hopefully things are picking back up. I know we've got a pretty decent schedule in March, so I know it's been a while since I've seen you, girl. Funny we should meet up at a place like this. Sure, I've got a minute, but I can't stay long. I got someone waiting for me outside. Damn, you sure look just like I remember. It's too bad things turned out like they did. You got that same look in your eyes now. The last time I saw it, you were leaving. Has anybody ever told you you sure cry pretty? You stand tall and move with grace. Has anybody ever told you you sure cry pretty? Your tears fall, they don't leave a trace. Yeah, I thought about you for a little while. And yeah, I guess I still do now and then. If only this had been another time, girl, baby, it might just break me down. Has anybody ever told you you sure cry pretty? You stand tall, move with grace. Has anybody ever told you you sure cry pretty? Your tears fall, they don't leave a trace. It's time for me to go. I hope you understand. I'm sure that you'll be fine once I'm gone. I'm sure there's someone out there you can turn to. Just keep your head up, girl. You'll be fine. Has anybody ever told you you sure cry pretty? You stand tall and move with grace. Has anybody ever told you you sure cry pretty? Your tears fall, they don't leave a trace. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. It means more to me than you know. So I really, really appreciate it. And I will see y'all. Hopefully, I will see y'all next week. Just watch. I think I'm liking these Thursdays. So I think I might keep doing them Thursday nights. So keep an eye out. But thank you again. And if you're in any of those areas this weekend, South Texas, San Antonio, Houston area, or in North Texas, go see Courtney Friday night. All right. I will see y'all next time.